Patek Philippe, 4 lilies arranged in a cross. Most people think it's just decoration. The cross received its name in honor of the 12th century military order of Calatrava, Spanish knights who defended a castle against impossible odds. While the origins of Philippe's adoption of the Calatrava cross as a trademark remain enigmatic, he potentially drew from historical references. The 4 lilies are reminiscent of fleur-de-lis from the French royal arms, with 3 lilies adorning the coat of arms of Eure-et-Loire, Philippe's birthplace. This emblem of prestige and sovereignty quite possibly influenced the choice of a lily motif to symbolize the company's excellence. When you wear that cross, you're wearing a vow, the same vow those knights took, to defend what matters, no matter the cost. Time is the only battle we're guaranteed to lose, but some symbols remind us to fight anyway. Cartier. The panther is Cartier's iconic animal, a wild, untamable animal whose symbolism and elegance have reigned over the Maison's creativity since its first appearance in 1914. But here's the secret. The panther was a woman first. Jeanne Toussaint had herself been nicknamed the Panther for her fierce determination. Louis Cartier nicknamed Toussaint La Panthère after her elegance and striking determination, and finally decorated apartment that was bedecked with leopard skin. She wasn't just a designer, she was the Panther. Every diamond spot, every emerald eye, it's her. Wild, untamable, forever prowling through luxury. Some logos represent companies. This one represents a woman who refused to be tamed. Tag Heuer. Before smartwatches, before fitness trackers, there was Tag Heuer's shield. It's not just a logo, it's armor. The shield represents defense and durability, born from the racetrack, where milliseconds mean survival. Tag stands for techniques d'avant-garde techniques, ahead of their time. The shield protects the innovation inside. Green and red aren't random colors. They're the colors of racing lights. Red means stop, green means go. But for Tag Heuer, there is no stop, only go. Speed without protection is recklessness. A shield reminds us that the fastest also need to be the strongest. Audemars Piguet, 2 letters, A and P, interlocked since 1875. Jules Louis Audemars and Edward Auguste Piguet didn't just create a company, they created a promise. The letters overlap because their skills did too. One was the technician, one was the businessman. Neither could exist without the other. The logo hasn't changed in 149 years. Not one curve, not one angle. In an industry obsessed with innovation, their mark stands still, unchangeable, unbreakable. Some partnerships are so perfect, separating them would destroy both halves. Tudor. Tudor's logo is literally royalty, but the rejected kind. The Tudor rose combines the red rose of Lancaster and white rose of York, ending England's War of the Roses. It's a symbol of peace through conflict. Hans Wilsdorf created Tudor as Rolex's little brother. Same quality, different crown. The shield says, I protect. The rose says, I've survived war. Together, they promise beauty born from battle. The second son often fights harder because he has more to prove. Breitling. Wings and an anchor. Sky and sea. Breitling couldn't choose, so they took both. The wings represent aviation. They invented the modern chronograph for pilots. The anchor, naval precision. The B sits between them like a pilot's badge. When you're navigating at 30,000 feet or 30 fathoms deep, you need instruments that speak both languages. Breitling's logo says, whatever your altitude will get you home. True navigation isn't about knowing where you are. It's about knowing where you belong. Vacheron Constantin. The Maltese cross has 8 points. Each point represents a knightly virtue: loyalty, piety, generosity, bravery, glory, contempt of death, helpfulness, and respect. But for Vacheron Constantin, founded in 1755, it means something else. It's the shape of a barrel-mounted component that controlled the mainspring's tension in old pocket watches. Form meeting function meeting philosophy. The oldest watch manufacturer still in operation chose a symbol that's both spiritual and mechanical. The highest craftsmanship happens when the soul and the machine become one. IWC Schaffhausen, IWC, International Watch Company, an American Florentine Ariosto Jones founded a Swiss watch company in 1868. The logo is deliberately plain, just 3 letters. No crown, no creature, no cross. Why? Because IWC believes the engineering speaks louder than symbols. Located in Schaffhausen, the only Swiss watch company in the German-speaking part of Switzerland, they're outsiders who became insiders through pure precision. Sometimes the boldest statement is refusing to make a statement at all. Seiko. Seiko means exquisite, or success in Japanese, but the logo tells a different story. It's designed to look the same when flipped upside down, perfect symmetry. This represents their philosophy: balance in all small things. In 1969, Seiko released the world's first quartz watch, destroying Swiss mechanical supremacy. They didn't apologize. Their logo had warned everyone, we seek perfect balance, even if it means flipping the entire industry upside down. Revolution doesn't always roar. Sometimes it ticks quietly, precisely, inevitably. Panerai, look at a Panerai, and you'll see the strangest crown guard in watchmaking, a massive lever that locks the crown. This isn't design, it's history. Panerai made watches for Italian Navy frogmen in World War II who rode torpedoes into enemy harbors. The logo itself, OP in a circle, stands for Officine Panerai, but that crown guard is the real symbol. It says, "This watch was built for men who rode bombs underwater in complete darkness. True courage is doing your job when your job is impossible." Longines, an hourglass with wings, time flying. It's almost too obvious, except it's been Longines' symbol since 1867, making it the oldest unchanged trademark in watchmaking. The hourglass represents precision timing. The wings, they were added because Longines timed every major aviation record in the early 1900s. Lindbergh wore one crossing the Atlantic. Amelia Earhart wore one when she disappeared. Time flies, and Longines was there to catch it. We give time wings, then spend our lives trying to catch it. Hublot. Hublot means porthole in French. Look at any Hublot, and you'll see exposed screws, like a ship's window. But the real symbol is the rubber strap. In 1980, they put rubber on a gold watch. Blasphemy. The H logo looks industrial, brutal even. It represents fusion, rubber, and gold, tradition, and rebellion. The screws aren't hiding. They're showing you exactly how it's built. Innovation means having the courage to show your screws. Jaeger-LeCoultre. JLC's logo is subtle, just intertwined letters, but their real symbol is the reverso's flipping case, created for British polo players in India who kept breaking their crystals. The logo represents the philosophy. Problems are just opportunities to flip everything around. They've created over 1,200 calibers. They're called the watchmaker's watchmaker because even Patek Philippe uses their movements. The greatest masters often remain invisible, content to make others shine. Richard Mille. Richard Mille's logo looks like a corporate signature because it is one. Founded in 1999, they're the youngest brand here. The RM isn't trying to be ancient or mystical. It's technical, aggressive, modern. Their watches look like F1 engines because they use F1 materials. The logo says, "We have no history, so we're going to make history." At $2 million per watch, they're not selling time. They're selling the future. Heritage is what you inherit. Legacy is what you create. Blancpain. Founded in 1735, Blancpain is older than America. Their logo? Just Blancpain in script. No symbols, no shields. Why? Because when you're the oldest, you don't need to prove anything. But there's a hidden symbol. They refuse to make quartz watches. Ever. Their logo is their name because their name is their promise. Mechanical only. Tradition only. No compromises. In a world of constant change, the most radical act is refusing to change at all. Grand Seiko. Grand Seiko's logo isn't trying to be Swiss. The GS is designed using the golden ratio, representing Japanese perfectionism. Look closer at any Grand Seiko dial, you'll see Mount Fuji's snow, autumn leaves, or Tokyo's night sky. The logo doesn't shout, it whispers. Like Japanese culture itself, the loudest voice in the room is often the weakest. Grand Seiko proves you can beat the Swiss by not trying to be Swiss. Perfection isn't about being better than others. It's about being better than yesterday's self. Rolex. Hans Wilsdorf claimed a genie whispered Rolex in his ear during a speech in 1958, but the crown itself wasn't registered until 1931. 5 points, 5 fingers, 5 letters. Some believe the 5 points represent the 5 fingers of the human hand. Others believe that the crown is intended to represent 5 tree branches topped in pearls, but Rolex stays silent. The truth is simpler. The crown has always been a symbol of honor and prestige, and this goes well with the core values of the Rolex brand. It's not a decoration, it's a declaration. When you see that crown, you're looking at the king of watchmaking, a symbol that says excellence needs no explanation. A crown doesn't make you royalty, but wearing one reminds you to act like it. Rolex crowned itself king, but our next brand dove deeper literally into mythology itself. Omega. That's not a seahorse on your Seamaster. It's a hippocampus, a mythical sea monster. Jean-Pierre Borel took a trip to Venice and noticed the hippocampi on the gondolas. These seahorse-like statues served as inspiration for his next engraving. In 1958, the hippocampus became the symbol of the Omega Seamaster as a means to signify the watch's water-resistant capabilities. stories. It is said that Poseidon, the god of the sea, drove a chariot drawn by hippocampi. The Venetians put them on gondolas for protection. Omega put them on watches for the same reason. When you're 300 meters underwater, you need more than technology. You need a guardian. The ocean doesn't care about your reputation. It only respects those who respect it back.